It's mature. It's mature.
Mature. I have not quite matured.
Matured. Like, fuck yourself with that pretentious talk, you prick. No, I'm immature, all right? IMMACHER.
Is that how they spelled it? The boy band with like fucking Roger from Sister and
I was gonna say because it was Marquez or whatever, Houston or whatever, right? Something like that. Oh, look who decided to join us, Eddie.
Yep, and he's out.
With it. That's why I'm mad with it. With it. With it. That's why I'm mad with it.
I should just start it now that Eddie walked away.
Whatever you need, it's on tab. Get it. That's why I'm mad with it. That's why I'm mad with it. That's where I'm at. Okay, you chasing clout? Oh no way, your shit turn.
I would do anything for you. I think that's an immature song. I don't know. Fucking Marcus Houston. I have no fucking clue. And Eddie is just not here. That's dope. Oh, nope. There it is. Hey.
It's his background.
There's
shut up, horse.
There's the guy.
There's the guy that did the thing.
He did the one thing because I made the one thing and he went ahead. I can't say I blame him.
Hold on.
I came on here making porn noises and I said that you walked off to go, wicka wicka to the porn noises I was making like a sick prevert.
Never that.
Not the Terrance. Fuck you talking about?
I don't know. I make pretty good porn noises, my guy. Oh yeah.
You're gonna get us thrown off of Facebook. I'm like, do this shuffle right.
Yeah. Fuck me.
Come on, son. Yeah, thanks, Lloyd. I appreciate that.
No,
Lloyd's trying to get back to his.
I can't.
Yeah, you can get over to. Lloyd's trying to get back to his logo side.
Oh yeah.
That's why I was like, why did you run the three boxes?
Oh, because we'd switch it and she wouldn't go side. Like it didn't look like to me she was in the middle.
Yeah, it would go like almost cockeyed. Yeah, it would be like that.
Is this what you're here for? Is this okay for you?
She was answering questions right here.
No,
wait, hold on.
You guys are so weird, bro. Yeah, this is so weird. What the fuck you guys been at for 2 weeks, yo?
I've been freezing my tiny white dick off, man. It's cold.
Yo, what the fuck happened in Omaha? Why the fuck do y'all have no internet?
It's 14 fucking states were doing rolling blackouts to preserve the power grid for that goddamn cold, man. It's horrible. It's horrible. It's like I said, it's like negative. Yesterday alone was negative 15-ish, and the wind chill took it down to like negative 35, I think.
Are we drinking?
Yeah, chocolate milk, son.
Oh, this nigga in his milk.
That's right.
You realize that
chocolate milk, whoop.
like statistically, this podcast is at least 67% lactose intolerant. You realize that, right?
Hey, that's not.
I'm not lactose intolerant.
You're not lactose intolerant? Well, look at you.
Only 33% of this is lactose.
Yeah.
33% of this podcast is 100% lactose intolerant.
You're such a bitch. Anybody that can't drink milk is a bitch. I'm joking.
I was like, you realize that like 75% of African Americans,
I was going to say,
like 97% of Asian Americans are lactose intolerant.
Are you actually lactose intolerant, or are you just one of those people like, we're humans are the only people that drink milk of another animal? Like, don't tell me you're that level of lactose intolerant.
I don't like your intolerance for my lactose intolerance. I am triggered right now. It's like hit or miss. I can eat pizza, I can eat ice cream, but like a glass of milk will fuck up my schedule.
Yeah, that's what. So like, I know what Lloyd's talking about because that was why you think I'm lactose intolerant, because I had a spell where I couldn't drink fucking milk, and like I thought my stomach was fucked up, and it was like, like so the shit. Yeah, like it goes in and out.
Did you switch up the milk you was drinking?
No, so I went to almond milk. I know. Then my titties started sagging, and I was like, "Fuck this."
I will say, man,
what those titties look
almond milk
like.
ain't terrible. It's just not regular milk.
It's just no. It's soy. Soy is really bad for us, gentlemen.
Yeah.
Soy is really bad for
almond
you.
milk is literally just
It's almond
water.
soy milk. No, it's
No,
almond
those are
soy milk.
Oh, I don't know
No.
what you're drinking, but almond and soy milk are two different things.
Yeah.
For real?
Yep.
Yes, most definitely. Soy is bad for you. Soy will give you titties. Almond milk is just almond flavored water.
Yeah.
That shit is water, bro. But I'm not gonna lie. I use that shit in my hamburger helper.
Dope. Coconut milk. That's what I use in my hamburger helper.
Coconut doesn't make no fucking milk.
I like almond
Just
chocolate
almonds.
milk. If I'm going to drink something that isn't regular milk, I'll do like chocolate almond milk. It's not bad, but I'm going to stick to my regular ass milk.
Are you using the right microphone? Is your system on the right microphone?
Yeah, because
Terrance?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, yes. Your shit did change out. Your audio changed out like a bitch.
What?
Kind of like
What's my favorite word?
Yeah, I don't know. It should be this one.
Okay. As long as you're happy. Get off.
Joy LaFaro, we're not on your time slot, bitch. Get the fuck out of here. No, but yo, you know what is funny? It's a lot of comedians in the DMV who are like running Tuesday 8, 9 o'clock shows.
Well,
Like, so shout out Black Think Tank. They were on the live podcast.
Dope.
Joy LaFaro's podcast. They run. I can't remember the name. Joey, text it out so I can shout you out real quick.
Comedy.
No, that's Dot Comedy is there.
Yeah, Dot Comedy. That's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah. But I think their podcast name has a different name.
I feel like I was on it, and I feel like it was Dot Comedy.
Was it? It might be, bro. I might be all the way off
Because you weren't on it.
I was on it actually. I ran my first podcast out of their fucking studio.
Don't fucking lie, Eddie. You don't run.
You wish, bitch.
You
wish,
that's right.
bitch.
Who reps? I rep. Find that episode I was in it.
That's you see that? You both were. Now shut the fuck up. Asian privilege is not Asian privilege is out on YouTube.
It is.
It's not
Spotify,
right.
also on iTunes, on Deezer, on fucking everywhere.
So how do you feel about that now that you've released
I was about to say that
special on YouTube? Like, how, do you feel now that we've had a few months post the release? How do you have any regrets? Do you have any? I wish I would have released it elsewhere.
No, because nobody was asking for it. As far as like nobody's like, hey, we'll pay you to do your your album. So it wasn't like I was turning down money. You know, I feel like you have to be somewhere, right? In order to find people to find you, and this seemed to be the best thing. But I think the old school part of me was like, oh well, now that you've done it, now that it's out, you can't do that. You can't do that those jokes anymore. But now I did it in a pandemic, so I don't have the opportunity to work new jokes. So now whenever I do a set, it doesn't feel good because I'm out there trying to cobble shit together and try to find new jokes on like one show every 2 weeks. It's fucking horrible. So I have no problem like putting it out. And I think as comics, we have to keep on forcing ourselves to write more, to come up with new jokes. I don't have a problem with burning that shit. It's just a matter of like, I don't have the system to work out new jokes, and it feels bad to do old jokes at this point.
Yeah, I mean that. What is that? That's the who did that shit? Jerry Seinfeld. Jerry Seinfeld was talking about how like he even if he put a joke in a special, he would just keep doing it.
Yeah, and he kind of got. I'm sure he kind of got held to the fire for that one, but it makes sense if the joke works. I feel like it was Dave Attell that's like the joke's never done, and now I'm finding new ways to like enter into the joke, and I'm finding new tags for it, and
right.
all of the things. But you know, the old school comedy mind in me says, "Well, you're done it now. Get rid of it."
Well, yeah, because you have like Louis C.K., who was also, correct me if I'm wrong, but he came out of Boston as well before he got big. That's where he originated.
Yep.
He very much is like a George Carlin as well in that aspect that if it's on a special, it's burned material. It's gone.
Right.
You don't do it again.
You know, I think I speak from the standpoint of people who are at the show that I'm at aren't there for me. So they have not seen this. So when they go back to find it, they're going to find a more polished version, a more streamlined version of it. So it's good. I have no problem with it. It wasn't like I was turning down money, and you got to put yourself, you're nowhere until you're somewhere. And I feel like now I'm somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, you're in a class of people who released a special.
Yeah.
Well, now a booker is like, hey, can I see your material? And what are you going to do now? Show them an updated version of you doing comedy where? At a fucking laundromat?
Right.
And here it's like, it's a difference. I challenge myself. It is borderline art piece because there's nobody in the crowd. And I feel like it has a lot to do with doing this podcast and talking to myself a lot on my podcast has got me better for it. But I enjoyed it. I really do. And I enjoyed that I put something out, and now I'm just out there for a new challenge.
So here's something I've been thinking about for a while. Well, not for a while, but definitely over the last few months. When it comes to releasing a special, and then you see these big time comics releasing a special like every 2 years, how much of that do you think is honestly their writing, and how much do you think is bought / ghost writing / whatever?
Shit. I don't know, because I think every comic is different. But I think that if I'm selling out weekends, 6-7 shows a weekend,
you got a roast writer.
The people that I run with are there.
You gotta imagine that, right? Like, as a nobody in comedy,
are they punching them up, or are they writing the fucking joke? That's
what I'm wondering.
Yeah, I feel like they writing the fucking joke, bro. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like,
I think it's different. I think it's all different for different comics. Need different.
It is. That's a fact. I don't
writing.
think every comic. I don't think every comic that's big, like Neil Brennan talks about Chris Rock, and Chris Rock was like he wrote for Chris Rock.
Yep.
And he wrote for Cat Williams. And he was like, the difference between the two was Chris Rock will be like, all right, here's a joke that I'm working on. Excuse me. He'd be like, this is a joke I'm working on. Now give me something better than it. And then the best punch would win. But Cat Williams would be like, this is the joke I'm working on. And then come in and destroy everybody's joke that wrote a joke for him. So let's talk about, I'm just using it as an example. Let's talk about Terrance's Kansas City hat, right? Everybody will write a joke about it, and then Cat Williams will write his own joke and destroy it, and it'll be like, well, I'm going with my joke. Like, it wasn't that they were writing to, supposedly, it wasn't that they were writing to give him jokes. They were writing to make sure that his jokes.
The bar.
He wanted to make sure that there wasn't a lot of people who could write jokes better than his jokes already were.
Yeah,
that's all his.
I know
everybody has a school of thought for the shit.
And I know there's some comics that are like, okay, I've seen your set 100 times because we're on the road, and it would be try this, take this joke and put it in there, move this joke backwards, put that one there, and sometimes you need a second set of eyes. But I think that if you are getting the opportunity to do 6-7 shows a weekend, 20-30 weekends out of the year, you need to surround yourself with people that can punch it up.
But this is my kicker. This is my kicker to it, dog. I'm kind of like a rapper. Punching up versus like you had something that was tag. Shut up. He was saying that for something else. Punching it up for something versus giving somebody a tag for a joke.
Yeah,
I think it's two different things. So if I go out to a show and I'm working on a bit and somebody was like, "Hey, you know what might work here?" Bang, bang, bang. That's a tag, right? That's all right, whatever. But if you are like, all right, I'm working on this joke, what do you guys got? Are you you're writing? You get what I'm saying?
That's what I've always wondered. Do you guys feel that cheapens it? Because and that's kind of where I'm at with it. And I've been a little burned about it. I'll be honest.
Nah, you can't be burned about it. I had it. I'm gonna be honest. That's it. I had a OG. A veteran comic had to knock that shit out of my system too. So you can't be mad about it because one, that's their. A lot of the comics who are on TV and movies and all sorts of shit, they don't have time to go to the open mics or go to the clubs. Every time somebody comes sees them, they have to be on their shit every single time, and so they use these guys they use these people to help punch up their or write their jokes with them or have writing sessions because they're not on the level of us. Like they can't go to an open mic, work on a joke, and then talk about that joke with other comics.
Yeah, because there's gonna be a blog. There's gonna be a blogger in the back of this bar. Yeah,
right. So like they might now if somebody wrote your entire set, that's one thing. But somebody writing for you because like they know how you talk or they know how you know what I'm saying, operate. That's a different that they're saying like that's a different thing.
So maybe
me personally, and just to finish the thought, me personally, I'm kind of like Jay-Z. You know what I'm saying? Like I write for myself, bitch. Like, but of course, like Jay-Z, what I had to watch myself with is what Jay-Z also and Lil Wayne talk about doing now is they only listen to themselves. Only because when you're listening to when you're taking a whole record of music and you're not writing, you get what I'm saying?
You get somebody else's voice.
You get subconscious thought in your fucking head. And then now you run it down a path that, you know what I'm saying, can easily be tagged as, oh, he steals jokes.
So that's what I mean by like it burns me. Like I could give two shits. Like it is what it is. I understand it's not a meritocracy in general. I guess me saying that it cheapens it is probably more accurate, and I still think that it cheapens it somewhat. The same thing in where when I found out that or how a lot of comedy specials were filmed, in that several shows were recorded and the best aspects of every show were put to lump it together, which I understand, but that also just to me cheapens the material, cheapens the experience in a lot of ways.
That's how everything that's recorded goes.
I understand that. Yeah. I totally understand that.
But
I don't love that.
But all right, but this is the thing though, right? We run live, right? So everything that we say, mess ups and all, that's why like people can hear when we talk about shit that happened in a previous podcast because we don't edit that shit out. We go live, right? But with that same concept, right? Not everybody wants people to hear the background noise. Not everybody wants people to hear the switcheroos and us talking about moving a person to another side and all this other shit, right? Because they don't understand it and they're not gonna get it. So they don't give a fuck about it, right? So you wouldn't watch live TV. Most people don't watch live TV. You know what I'm saying? Because it's too easy to fuck up and nobody wants to see that shit. You want to show the special is supposed to be your best. And so I'm only going to give you my best.
Also, watching sports, watching a football game or versus going to a football game is a completely different experience. When you're sitting at home, you see the stats, you hear the thing and the cuts and all of this. Right. Where you're sitting in the stands, you're like, I don't know what the fuck's going on. Like there's a stop in the play and you haven't figured out why.
But I also, I mean, like I said, I understand it, and I'm not burned about it. Like, oh fuck this! I do feel like it cheapens it in some ways. Like that. That's one of the things because, like, with.
But then that means you don't like music.
No, not true. I'm using. Hold on. I'm saying I'm going to take it to like Loy's special, for example, right? What I appreciate about Loy's special, Asian Privilege, on YouTube right now, is that it was different, right? There's no crowd out there. So it's Lloyd doing an entire stand-up special that's almost the antithesis of what a stand-up special would be.
Stop using these big-ass words, nigga.
It's the opposite. It's the opposite of what a special
I know what the fucking meant, but whatever.
And so with that, I think of innovation, right? And then how can you innovate? So we already know that this is what's going on, and we understand that's how it's being filmed. We understand how it's being packaged and produced and such. I don't think I love it, so I'm thinking of ways to innovate that and still be true to me and my craft.
And that, and you know, and that's kind of what it was. That's exactly what I did. Was like, hey, what can I do right now? How do I use all of the resources I have? Right. And that was it. It's like it's easier to do a comedy show when you don't have to worry about filling the seats. You know, like we're in COVID. When would there ever be before COVID a time that was socially acceptable to put out an album with no crowd? It wouldn't make sense. So I just kind of took this perfect storm and go, hey, let's run with this concept. And I don't expect anyone else to do it, nor do I expect people to respect it. It's just like, oh, he did it. Like, this is a thing. So definitely, I recommend do what if you want to do it in a brewery, you want to do it at a pool hall, like whatever.
That's kind of more along those lines, right? Is not doing it in the theaters and not doing it at such as doing it in these fucking dive bars where I've come up in comedy at. Doing it at this little spot that's a nobody.
So all right. So what is a special though? That's where the definition got to come from.
That's
right?
also
because what Lloyd's talking about is artistic specials, right?
Sure.
I call it an album. Specials. I've never called it a special. I only called it an album. This is my album. True. That's my album. Right.
Fair enough. Maybe I said special. My bad.
No, but I do too. So my thing is though, but you okay? How do you not call it a special, Lloyd? Because you taped it. But so you're saying you have a visual album? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah,
like your Beyonce.
I have an album video.
I've asked motherfucker, get the fuck out of here, bro.
I tape all kinds of videos for Instagram. They ain't specials.
But that's my so to Lloyd's. I hope this is Lloyd's point, but to my point of special, I hope this is Lloyd's point. So my point of special. What is a special? Specials should be special, right? They shouldn't be something that you do on a regular. So with that being said, like you're putting out your best. Bob Sumner talked about it on the last podcast, right? I mean, on his interview, right? He doesn't want people to send in clips. Why? Because you can take the best clips and merge those joints together, and then I can't really see you. I can only see you at your best. But that's what a special is. What he's talking about is auditioning for his shows to make sure that you're actually ready. But when you're putting on a special, you want to show people your best shit. You get what I'm saying? So like so the comics who put them out like every 2 years, like I like Anthony Jeselnik's approach of it, right? Every 3 years. He does every 3 years, right? He writes for a year and takes them to small clubs. He travels for a year and he he writes for a year and takes them to like open mic type stuff.
Yep.
Then he goes small. Then he goes small. It's real small settings. Then he goes to B-list clubs. Then he goes to A-list clubs. Then he goes to theaters. And while he's at theaters, he picks the theater that he wants to shoot a special at. So it's a 3-year process for every fucking special, so he can work through all of it. But also, he writes all of his jokes. You get what I'm saying? Because so it's like the people that crank them out too much, I think it diminishes the point of a special, right? Like everybody wants to catch George Carlin at 13? They want to catch George Carlin's 13, but it's like, dog, but George Carlin in his later years wasn't really all like, and this is being real, wasn't all that great as a comic, but he was more with Davis now, where it was like, but he was doing an hour 15, 2 hours of it, where it wasn't as funny, but it was very thought-provoking.
But I mean, that's not Dave or George centric. It happened to Dick Gregory as well, you know, like.
But also George, specifically George, he wrote like after he did his special, he would sit down and write a whole hour, and then it became like, especially towards his later years, became basically a one-man show. And now you look at it like last couple of specials, you're like, oh yeah, he's just out there monologuing the whole thing. It's not it's not conversational comedy. And you know, to your point, it's got to be something special, and I agree. But also, I'm in the body of work. I'm in the business of body of work. So just like I want to put out body of work. I want to put out like when I leave, I want to leave behind a vault like Prince, just fucking notebooks, like clippings, all of this shit. We just fill a fucking vault full of it. Because sure, there's gonna be albums. But how many albums do you listen to from track 1 to track 16? True. You go, oh, I like this one song. I like these 2 songs. I like this 4 songs, whatever. And then you put it together, greatest hits, fine. Because right now, I'm not in the business of selling albums. I'm in the business of selling tickets. I'm in the business of like, come see me. Come through. Here's like a crack dealer. I'll give you all the samples. All the samples you want, come see me.
I mean, but that's why I guess it's great that you call it an album, because it's like and it was only 24 minutes, so it's like, hey, listen, like this is a sample of my product. Boom,
come see me.
For me, and everybody, I think everybody's there. Tommy Sambazo's about to shoot his special. Oh, he just shot it. Glenn shot his special. Frankie's about to shoot Frankie French is about to shoot a special soon. Rob Gordon shot his special. Like everybody's shooting specials, and I don't see anything wrong with it because everybody is. And at first I did. At first, shout out, Chris from Baltimore. But I don't see anything wrong with it because it's like a lot of people are using it as content. They're not using it as specials, right? It's called a special, but is it like, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people are using their tape recorders as content, right? I personally do not believe in that. That's just me though, right? I want all my content to be, I want my best shit to turn into I only want to release my best shit as content. Now, perfection is sometimes the worst enemy. That's a fact. So I don't want to go down a path where it's like I want to hold on it too long. But I want to make sure that I'm ready because I feel like, and me and Lloyd had this conversation before, I feel like some people release their specials, and talking to the PR agency, right, that I'm working with, some people are releasing their specials and then nobody wants to watch them because nobody knows who the fuck you are.
Right.
So what was the point? So you just burnt material and nobody knows who you are yet.
But if nobody knows who you are to begin with, because you don't have anything out, now you have something out. Now they could know you. Does that make sense? Like nobody's looking.
But this is the thing though. You like even using you released an album when you were already hitting good numbers on YouTube. You get what I'm saying? Like this is where everybody gets confused, right? Most podcasts are getting 10 viewers or 10 subscribers. You get what I'm saying? So when you get to like, 100 or 200, most people look at like Joe Rogan and like, well, you're not at 1 million, motherfucker. Most people aren't at 1 million. That's why he's fucking Joe Rogan. At
1 million. Yeah.
Most people will be at 10. Right. Yeah. Like most people will be at 10. Some of the better ones will be at 200. Don't look at these motherfucking, you looking at all these sponsored materials on fucking Facebook and Instagram and YouTube, and you're like, well, these motherfuckers are making 20,000 doing fucking no, they're not. They telling you this shit so you can buy their fucking program so they can make 20,000. You get what I'm saying? I don't. Just to wrap up. I'm sorry, bro. Just to wrap up. My point is, damn, you made me lose my point. my point is that you put out your special when you had over 1,000 some album, when you had over 1,000 some people viewing you on a regular on YouTube. That's actually not normal. That's actually a higher number than most people naturally do. Not the people who buy shit, but that's more. So you got, like, looking at your special, you got over 13,000 views on it already.
18,
right? 18,000. I'm sorry, bro.
1,800. Yeah, 1,800 views.
1,800 views. But that's still. But my point is, that's still a lot of fucking views, especially when you go to other comics and they got 10. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? Like,
so let me deconstruct that a little bit, and I'm looking at it from kind of the business side of it all. It's like I don't want to take Netflix money, Comedy Central money, which they weren't offering it, but like I don't want to take that and not own my shit. Right. So first of all, let me just spend the money. Let me put down my flag in the dirt and go, this is mine. And I have no problem writing more stuff. I have no problem putting out more stuff, but I want to own everything from start to finish. I want to be able to put forth, like when we talked, like I tried to explain it to you and you're like, you didn't really understand what I wanted to do. And you weren't the only one. I knew what I wanted to do. I had faith in my abilities. I ended up having to edit it myself, all of these things. But it was one of those things where I'm going to create something. I'm going to own it. I don't want other people to tell me how to do what I do. And I'm just creating the precedent of like a mixtape. I'm putting out together a mixtape. Like I want to be on that mixtape level where, hey, as long as I got a few good bits on there that you like, I'm good. Come see me.
Yeah, so I'm not trying to denigrate anybody, whether you want to call it an album or a special, or how people that are at comedy echelons I'll never fucking reach. My whole thing is I felt as though, and I still kind of do, is in the process of it. I understand it, but that doesn't mean I have to agree with it nor appreciate it. And I still find it that it cheapens it.
And the beauty of it all is you have the ability to do it as you see fit.
Exactly. And so like it's kind of like one of them said that they don't like the live football game shits that's going on a few comments back. Cool. Got it. I enjoy that shit though. I enjoy being live at the game because you get to see all the different things. Same reason as I like being at the actual live shows where things are going on that weren't necessarily for the camera, because that's where I find the funny, where the people can ad lib, where they can plug and play and interact. That's where I think real comedic magic happens personally. And so I'm like, you don't capture it the same way when that's edited and cut out. I understand the reason for it.
But that's the thing though, right? That's the thing though, right? That hit on your point just a little bit. I don't like baseball games on TV. I just don't. I hate baseball games on TV. They're boring as fuck to me. But I love baseball games in live baseball games. And Lloyd jokes about makes fun of me all the time, but that's mostly because I can't get out to live baseball games. The year before the Nationals won a World Series, I was at 6 of the fucking games having fun. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, I don't like live football games though. I like to watch football games on TV. You get what I'm saying?
No, fair enough.
So it's like some things you like live, some things you don't like live. Some comics you want to see live, and some comics you don't care to see live.
I agree.
I can only watch Eddie Griffin live, bro. That's a fact for me. I can only watch Eddie Griffin live. Because I feel like every time I see him, every time I've seen or heard about him live, he fucking rocks, right? But I can't watch his specials. I just don't like him. I don't know why. It's not. He's like an in the moment comic for me, and he's one of the the greatest comics.
So you're kind of making my point for me.
No. What I'm saying is some of them you can, some of them you can't. Right. And to Lloyd's point of you get to pick and choose which one you want to be. There's nothing wrong with it. It's no right or wrong way. But I guess what you're saying is like, I guess, rubbing me a little bit, because I'm like, not the wrong way or irritating. It's just rubbing. Like, it's just like one of those things is there, because it's like, why don't you like it? But I don't. You might like milk. You like chocolate milk, and I don't. So hey, nigga, we like different shit.
No, that's because you're racist. I don't know why you got a problem with chocolate milk.
The fuck, yo, hold up. You gotta talk about that shit later. Fuck it. Did you motherfuckers see that they put out a whole rack of people on Twitter? I'm guessing they were joking. I hope they were joking. They were like, Tom Brady's racist because he won the Super Bowl doing Black History Month.
Hey, is there another white man that's led more black men to the promised land?
Oh my God, that shit! Shut up, boy.
He's been leading black men to the promised land for 20 years now.
Now he's Moses.
You just denigrated chocolate milk, and then you referred to Loy as boy. Like, that's two racist things within less than 3 minutes.
I'm triggered.
How dare you? How dare you?
Black History Month?
Yeah.
First off, Lloyd didn't hear it because his internet is buffering.
I didn't actually. I didn't know what the fuck he said. I feel like I'm in fucking Nintendo right now.
No, so the end of the point is right. Like James Gagnon put up the Andrew Schultz shit, right? Andrew Schultz taped the special, and instead of releasing the special, he cut it up into clips. And when he cut it up into clips, his clips went fucking viral, right? When his clips are now, he already had a push. Right, he already had a push with it, right? Because he was on Charlamagne's show. I mean, him and Charlamagne have a podcast. Flagrant 2 started doing really well, like in their their second year of running, or second or third year of running that podcast. So he already had somewhat of a push coming behind him, right? Mm-hmm. He was on Guy Code. He was on a couple movies. One of his movie clips went really big, so on and so forth, right? None of that shit's an excuse. What I'm saying is he put out those clips. Those clips themselves went viral. Then by the time he released the special, the whole thing, but people knowing or unknowing had already seen the special because they had watched all the fucking clips. And then they went back and still watched the fucking special. Everybody's different, bro. He's the first person to do that shit. Now a lot of comics are doing it. This game is ever evolving. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, but we're looking at like I'm not Andrew Schultz. Most of us aren't Andrew Schultz.
Right.
It's like saying like, oh, Michael Jordan can do it. I could do it too.
Yeah,
like, no, it's you have to make do with what you are, where you are, what you have. Right now, if we're talking basketball, I'm just inbounding the ball and setting picks. I'm just trying to make a career out of that.
No, I feel like some people gotta realize, like, are you Isaiah Thomas, the OG, right? The older one. Are you Isaiah Thomas and you one of the greatest point guards and you just for whatever reason you missed out on the dream team? Or are you what's the boy from Duke? What's the white boy from Duke?
Christian Laettner?
Are you Christian Laettner and you just lucked the fuck up? Like
hey, there's Isaiah Thomas, there's Dave Thomas, there's Eaton Thomas, there's a lot of lanes. And the thing is, like, you can't lie to yourself. You gotta make do.
Right. Sometimes you're gonna get to the big leagues. Sometimes you're gonna be in the big leagues, or sometimes you're gonna just have your name spoken about. That's just like Isaiah Thomas is one of the best point guards of all time. Of all time, right? Missed the fucking dream team. It's still butthurt about it. Honestly, I think all of us can see how or why. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
But he just did it different because of his relationships. Shit just went bad. You get what I'm saying?
You might be Isaiah Thomas, or you might be Isaiah Thomas, the Piston or the Celtic. Which you got to figure. You can't lie to yourself. Which one is you?
So I think, I know what my special, right? So I'm shooting my special in August
album
next year. No. So see, you're shooting the album. I'm shooting the special, bitch.
I'm on my mixtape money.
I'm gonna tell them everybody up front. I'm shooting 4 fucking shows. I'm not playing with that shit at all, bro. I'm gonna do 4 fucking shows, and I'm gonna take the best jokes from every fucking show. Simple as that.
I'm not knocking it.
I'm not saying you are, but I also, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I also am gonna take the shows that probably weren't the best shows and take some of those clips and put them out on the fucking internet. Like that's just like everybody has their different thing. You get what I'm saying? So
one thing you have to consider. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. One thing you have to consider, like in the production side, is like when you do jokes, and this is kind of what I learned was like I do the joke, your energy's off. From one take for the second show, like you might hit the joke harder, and then the next joke you have it doesn't match it. So you have to go with the take that you don't want to use, just so it matches. So it's not like high energy, low energy, high energy, low energy. Like there's a production side of it that you have to come up with a product that's watchable as well.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I honestly don't know. Like I'm still trying to scout the venue. I'm trying to figure out what venue I want to use. I think I have like 3 or 4 of them that I know I want to try to use. You know what I'm saying?
Have you heard of Madison Square Garden?
Yeah, I'm not that guy yet.
Have you heard of Verizon One Center?
Not that guy yet.
Just go to Ram's Head. Just go to Ram's Head.
Nah, so that's the thing, right? Like, do I want to shoot it in DC or do I want to shoot it somewhere else?
Maryland.
I'm definitely not shooting it in Columbia. I can tell you that much. I definitely not shooting it at Columbia. I can tell you that much. James, you are on the list. James has already shouted straight out. Like, I don't know.
No, DC Draft.
Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah. You're an asshole. That's funny.
I heard you could buy it at this point.
I might. So the point that I'm making is like, I don't know. I know I'm going to shoot a special. I don't know exactly how I'm going to narrate this shit up, chop this shit up yet. I already know what production, who's going to produce it. I know all this shit. Oh, Big Hunt. I might shoot it at Big Hunt. Now that's funny. I think that would be a fucking full circle, baby.
All you got to do is talk to the realtor and be like, "Hey, how much is it to rent this place?
Rent this bitch out
real quick."
Put a big fucking sign behind me with my face on it like the devil.
Hey, no, paint over that, and put Broken Diamond on that back.
Yo, put Broken.
Yeah, he's muted.
Hey, that bitch and then fucking leave that shit in the circle. Yes,
hey,
sir.
James, I want to shoot my next album out of the cellar when you guys open up. That's what I want to do. So make that happen.
So like, I don't even know if I want to do so. That was the thing. Like, I'm thinking about do I want to do my shit in one of the big spots? I was thinking about DuPont Underground, but I don't know how the echo is going to fuck with the sound.
It's all production, bro. You fucking.
I was gonna say
we'll talk about
it. A lot. That's a lot. That's a lot of shit to try to maneuver, bro. Like
everything
that's
is
a lot of different.
Everything
all
is
of them are.
Everything's a lot to maneuver. Let's let's be real.
That's a fact. But yeah, like I don't like so. Yeah, I don't know how I want to play this shit, but I know whenever the reason why, and me and you talked about it, the main reason why I was so skeptical on a lot of comics releasing their shit is because I was like, do you have shit to replace it? And some people that we know, I'm not judging, but I don't think they have shit to replace it.
But that's not.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but that like I think that I always urge you like don't worry about the other people. Like don't see what they're doing.
No. I'm saying that, but that's why I had to fall back. That's why that's literally why I had to fall back because some of them did. You get what I'm saying? Some people had shit to replace the shit.
We comics, man. We gonna come out with new content. Like you don't want to be that comic that's been doing the same shit for 10 years and just be like, I'm not even the same person as I was when I started. So I gotta get rid of some of this single man shit. Some of these jokes I wrote as a single man and start writing or using material that most suits me now.
Yeah.
You can't talk about your baby dropping on her head for forever because she's gonna be an adult soon.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk about it then too. That might be a joke that I put on a special and still do.
Hey, just do it for every album. You just keep on putting that down.
It'll be a greatest hits.
Yeah. Every but yeah, I don't know. Like the jury's like researching a lot of different like I'm trying to do my special as best I can for myself, right? Like everybody does this shit different.
Yeah,
right. But like listening to like Jerry Seinfeld talk, and that was why I knew where that clip came from. Of like run it like who said that you can't do a joke after you do a special? Like sometimes my jokes get better, bro.
Yeah.
Now this
David tells
his jokes didn't get better.
Well, Gary Goldman is a guy that I had said that a while back. That ones that he did on one of his first specials. I think he tweeted out like a couple months back how he's like, "Dang, I wish I wouldn't have done it on that special because now I have 3 or 4 different ways to go into it." But my problem will be if that happens is if it's still the same punchline. I don't know how else you could still use that material and feel good. I guess.
Why?
I mean, how many times?
Dude, Jay-Z uses the same bars a lot in every album, bro. Do we fucking sit back and be like, well, he used that bar before? No, motherfucker.
I don't listen to Jay-Z like that.
It's a racist.
Because he doesn't wear lugs.
True. He don't wear lugs.
No.
Use the code 30.
That was a good way to cover that true up.
Flat 7, dog. Flat 7 shipping.
Flat 7 30 is your code.
I'm saying, like, all right, listen, Jay-Z fucking repeats bars. I treat comedy like music. I truly believe how everybody tries to maneuver this shit and be like, oh, fucking comedy is like boxing. Comedy's like that. To me, comedy's like music, bro. You get what I'm saying? Like all forms of music. You, especially hip hop, right? Because it's like you are by yourself. Yes, your friends are in the studio with you, cooking up some new shit. Yes, you are rap, but you are rapping, and majority of your friends are like, hey, bang, yeah, but most of the time, a lot of the time, those producer credits, they had to start doing it because of the fucking the lawyer paperwork, because motherfuckers would be like, yo, I told him to say big in that one line, and he didn't give me no credit. Pay me $100,000. Like, shut the fuck up, whore. Like, some of that shit happens a lot. Sometimes I feel like when we go to open mics or when we're around comedian friends and we do jokes, and our comedian friends is like, ooh, if you would have said style bender instead of Israel Adesanya, that would have worked better. Like, oh shit, I'm gonna use style bender, right? Like, because that does make sense. Right? They're giving us little joints, little gems, right? But we go on that stage by ourselves and perform that shit.
Yeah, but I find that very different from, and again, I understand it and I'm cool with it. It's weird. I guess I could describe it the way you did, is that it rubs me. Not that I'm upset by it, not that it offends me or whatever. It just rubs me that we as comics kind of perpetuate this idea of shooting a special when that special is a punched up version of what actually happened. It's not a real version of what actually happened. And that's not necessarily what your audience, your crowd, your whoever is going to get when they come see you live. And so that's where it's like, part of me is like, no, I get it. And business wise, this is cool. But the other part that wants to be like, look at it from this bullshit comedy purist, if you will, that something about it feels like it's cheapened just enough to where I'm like, I can't be fully on board with it. As weird as that is.
Do you want to be what's the kid in New York with a hoodie? Rapper with a Joey with a hoodie, not badass. Whatever. The dude with the hoodie. He was an underground rapper. Everybody knew him as an underground rapper. He comes out with his song. No, he comes out with this song. The song goes fucking crazy. And then he basically went a little bit more mainstream. And everybody was like, oh, he's a sellout. And he was like, dude, I was doing this shit for money. I was just doing it at my level, right? Do you want to be a purist in the sense of are you okay with not making as much money doing this shit?
I think,
but there's money on the table, because I feel like a special, when you chop up a special, you are showing the people the best of you, my guy.
I agree with you.
And that's what people want to see.
So Loy said something earlier that I think is very underrated. And since you said it's about music, I'll take it to music and say, I watched an interview with Steven Tyler, the lead singer of Aerosmith. And one of the things that he said that stuck with me, that was something I was already ruminating on comedy about, but he said it's better to own 100% of 100 copies than 1% of 1 million copies.
And I think that's stupid.
I don't think so, man, because when you talk, if you think it's stupid, then why did Dave Chappelle do everything that he did to get his name and rights back in perpetuity and everything that we saw?
Why does Kevin Hart own all of his Comedy Central?
That's what I'm saying. Like, sure, if I were to ever get at that level to where my shit would ever become marketable to a platform, I'd be leaving money on the table if I didn't sign it away. However, I feel as though me owning it gives me so much more power, because it isn't about the money for me. Yes, also, I'd like to make the money, but
also, I didn't want to have a boss. I didn't want to have someone like sitting and be like, well, can you do the joke differently? Hey, cut, guys. That joke shouldn't go there. Like, no, I'm going to do what I think is best, because at the end of the day, I want to give you the experience that I want to give you, whether it's right or wrong for you. I'm driving this whole motherfucker all the way down.
Yeah. I feel like I cut y'all off a lot, and so I wanted y'all to finish out y'all statements before I clarify.
Wait. Before you go, do you not understand how I've drawn that correlation between what you're saying about leaving money on the table and then everything that Dave Chappelle initiated and then went through and then initiated to go back, and why I feel like it's important to own everything?
Okay. First off, Dave Chappelle put out Redemption Song, right?
Yep.
And that shit was very powerful. And Redemption Song, he talks about getting his shit back. Okay, for everybody to talk about it, right? Dave Chappelle was with a major before he went independent. Dave Chappelle, when he was with the major, circumstances happened, and then he had to go independent, but he was more powerful independent. Kicker, would we know Dave Chappelle as we do now if he was never with a major? If you're talking about in the sense of music, right? Would we know Kevin Hart as he is now if he was never with a major? This is where I think everybody steps. My thing is, hold on. One point. Let me finish out. That's why I let y'all talk. Give me my point. Everybody that is super huge, even if we go off of rap, right? The only person that you could possibly use is Chance the Rapper, right? Who was independent first, or still independent. And then he went and did the Master P shit. Master P, same thing. Master P failed for multiple years and then bet on himself. But he bet on himself with the backing of a major. This is, hold on, Lloyd. Let me. I got you, bro.
I know. Just
go ahead, man. Go ahead, because that's just gonna throw me off. For everybody that's on audio, Lloyd literally has his hand up on the fucking screen like a fucking.
I'm glad. I feel good.
That shit is annoying the shit out of me. So this is my point. You have if you have a chance to go with a major, it's all about contracts. Now, If a major is coming to you and is saying, hey, man, I think you're worth $1 million, that means that major thinks you're most likely worth 3, right? Because they're only giving you the money to make X on their money. They're giving you $1 million because they think they can make 3 million off you. So now is the time for you to be like, okay, now we're 3 million. This is what can we do this? Let's see what my leveraging power is. Hey, I'll let me shoot everything. I recoup my costs, right? After I recoup my costs, you guys can put it on your platform. I get to recoup my costs, and we split this everything 50-50, right? Afterwards, I own 75%, y'all own 25%. But this is our only one contract, right? However way you maneuver the shit. Get big and then talk all that independent shit, my guy. Go ahead, man, because you motherfuckers are annoying.
Pick me. Is it my turn? Okay. How many of us have majors knocking on our door? That's not even an option. No major. Netflix was not like, hey, you want to come with us? Because we got like nobody was at my door.
Fuck, it's a major before anybody knows them, bro. What are you talking about?
What I'm saying is that I'm doing what I can. I'm doing what I can with what I got, where I'm at, what I can do.
Nothing wrong with that. Yeah. What I'm saying is, if you guys keep talking about, I'd rather not own 1% of $1 million and I'd rather own 100% of 100 sales. No, that doesn't make sense to me, bro.
No, that makes perfect sense.
Because there's a fucking mechanism behind you promoting you that you are not spending money on, and they have to recoup their money. That's how shit works. That's how business works.
But that's not. But
now,
like,
they don't have to own it in perpetuity. That part I don't agree with.
I get that part.
Go ahead.
But what I'm saying, like, you don't have right now where we stand. We don't have that option. The option is like,
my point.
I can't. Like, we could talk about how it's like to go into the NBA and all the rules, but we're not going into the NBA.
But that's not the point, bro. Like, listen to my point. Listen to my point. Right? Listen to my point, bro. If we start shows and we have people in our city wanting to come out and see us, that shows that there's a demand. That's your independence. That's your independent stage. Going out and getting people who want to see you. Then you take that to a major. Now, when I say major, for anybody that's not getting it, I'm not saying what I'm saying is, then you take that to Netflix. Hey, Netflix, I got the whole DMV already. Every time I have a show, DMV circling, bro. I got all these. I got people wanting me to come out to LA. I got people wanting me to come to New York. I got people wanting me to go to fucking wherever, right? All these people want to see me. If you guys can get the money behind me, I know for a fact that I can recoup that money. But I need that money machine behind me because it will push me further. But I am willing to sign the contract where you guys or we either do a 50-50 or we do a fucking X amount and I get my shit back.
So you're saying you're anti in perpetuity, which I agree. I think we should all be, but
yeah, that's stupid.
You're not in the position of any sort of negotiation when you need the major.
Who said that? How you figure that?
Okay, if I am sitting here in your exact case that I'm sitting here building up this name for myself in the DMV and everything, why would I jump to a major just to expand it from there when I could do the groundwork myself and keep expanding it and keep 100% of the proceeds and profit, as opposed to saying, okay, now I'm going to ask for you to come out here and do this contract. You're not in a position to do any of that. They're going to use all their resources. They're going to use everything that they have. They're going to be fronting all of that to look at you and be like, hey, so I hear what you're saying about you're only going to do X, Y, and Z, but if you want us to back you, we're going to go ahead and need all of that, and we're going to take all of that. I don't find any scenario.
But that's business, my guy.
I understand.
Hold on. If the business does not fit you, move the fuck on. If you You gotta understand this. We talked about this before. You gotta understand your worth versus your value, right? And when I say that, both of them can be intertwined depending on how a person uses them, of course, right? For me, worth is how much I want for it, right? Value is how much somebody's willing to give me, right? Now you can switch those up however way you want to, but that's what I'm talking about. How much do I want for it versus how much somebody's willing to give me for it. Now, if you feel like we taking perpetuity off the table, right? Nobody will ever own my shit in perpetuity unless it's a joint venture, right? When Kevin Hart does these movies, that's why he started saying those are my partners, because both of them own it. You get what I'm saying? But he needed that influx. Lionsgate with Laugh Out Loud Network, he owns a share of Laugh Out Loud. Majority, second, minority, I don't know. I don't give a fuck. He partnered with Lionsgate to do that. You get what I'm saying? So that means both of them put up money, and now they're both partners. So they both get to make decisions on that venture. Okay. If you don't, what you're saying is, if I go to a major and they say, "Well, you're not worth that. We're willing to give you $200,000, but we get to own it for perpetuity," then walk the fuck away, my guy. That's all. If you already growing this, you are correct. If you're already growing your shit, right? Why do you need these guys? I never said you needed them. That's never came out of my mouth. No, I've literally on this podcast have said multiple times, I don't need certain people. I don't need them. I use them for validation. You get what I'm saying? I use them for validation because it gives me validation that other people also think that my craft or my style of comedy works. You get what I'm saying? It's a good pleasure that comes over my body when a comedy club comes to me and is like, "Yeah, I want to book you," right? But I can make my money by myself. It's cool when a promoter asks me to do this show. It's actually really cool. But I can make the money myself. No, that's because it's not. It's coloring this shit, my dude.
I understand. And
that's but we're talking in black and white, and everybody's not looking at the prism. You're not looking at the color prism, bro. In certain situations, everything's situational. In certain situations, I can understand owning everything outright. In certain situations. But I can also understand getting with the major. And so you have to figure out which opportunity says only go with a major, only go independent. That's all. Sure. That's all I'm saying. So it's like, I'm not the DC Comedy Festival, the Broken Diamond Festival, the you know what I'm saying, Chocolate City Festival, all these different fucking festivals and shows that I put on or am a part of putting on, right? All of them. If a major came to me tomorrow and gave me a number that I was willing to partner with them on, I'm doing it. Now, would I sell my shit outright? No.
Okay, then you answered my question. That's cool. You agree with me. You don't like the way I phrased it, but you agree with me.
Yeah, no, I don't. No, because the way you phrase it is like everything, my guy.
Yeah, you should own
everything. I'm not saying everything.
Because here's the thing,
I would never say that. If somebody came to us right now, this is kick. Barstool comes to us right now, and it's like, "Hey, we want to put your fucking podcast on Barstool." We got two options. Hey, Barstool, we're cool with that, but we want to do a 2-year. We want to do a 2-year contract with you, man. After that 2-year contract, we get all our shit back. Same thing Joe Rogan did with YouTube. I mean, with Spotify. Oh, well, you're not Joe Rogan. We don't want to do that deal. Hey, guys, they don't want to do that deal. Are y'all willing to give up 2 years? And if we don't like the situation, they get to own our shit in perpetuity? Nah, I don't like that. Hey, Barstool, sorry, we can't do it.
You agree with me.
But that's negotiating, my guy. But to put out there and say, like, the lug shit, I will never fucking wear lugs unless a bet is involved. That's you guys are like, man, you're not gonna let me. You're not gonna take that millions of dollars.
For $7 flat rate shipping, using code Winter30, you can get up to 65% off.
But I stand on that. So when you come out and say, I'm never gonna work with a major, when you come out and say, I'm never gonna, so you're telling me there's no number
No. That's not what I said. What I said is I would rather own 100% of 100 shares rather than 10 or 1% of a million shares.
But also,
but what the fuck is that million worth, my dude? If that 1% of 100 million was 25 million up front.
Long game. Because if I can sell those 100 shares,
but you wouldn't have got there. You would not have got there, bro. You would not. You do not. This is what I keep trying to explain to people. You do not have as much money as they do, dude. You do not. This is not a fucking. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but this is not a local club. This is different. This is a different game. When we talk about majors, we're talking about like Live Nation type shit, my dude.
I understand.
This is not one venue. This is multiple. So when you say something like, I'm gonna do this shit independently. If fucking Live Nation came to us and was like, hey, we're gonna pay y'all fucking $100,000 a fucking show, but we're gonna give y'all that no matter who shows up. But on the back end, we might make $300,000. You're gonna say no? Because I want to own 100% of my 50.
See,
what the fuck are you talking about?
One, you're raising your voice, trying to intimidate me, and it's not going to work.
Bully.
That's one, trying to be a bully. You're saying exactly what I'm saying. I'm saying I'm not going to allow them to own it. If that was a partnership, absolutely. But there's no ownership involved.
But what if it was a partner? What if it wasn't a partnership? What is your maximum? I'm being real before you hit this never shit.
Okay.
What if your maximum output was $50,000 shows, and Live Nation came to you and said we will do 150 a show?
But shows and ownership and content are two different things. Shows hold on. Let's I like this role playing shit. Let's go corporate role play with me. Hey, Eddie. I'm Loy, the comedian, and Eddie, you're Netflix.
What?
You come to me. Go.
What do you mean? What do you have? What do you have?
Okay. You know what I have. That's why we're having this conversation.
Yeah.
If I know what you have, then I'm gonna say no. And it's not. Are we playing the feelings game or are we playing the strict game? Are we playing real life here?
Whatever, your choice, dealer's choice. Let's go.
Are we playing respectful? Because if I come to you and say, "Hey, Lloyd Lee, I got 20,000 for you. I want you to do a 15-minute special."
No, I'm good. Thank you.
That's your choice. But if the motherfuckers came to me, I'm telling you right now, hey, I'm doing a Netflix special for 15.
You're saying that, but you're going back and contradicting yourself, because if it comes to ownership, you keep saying no. That's the bottom line. And that's what I said in the beginning. And that's what I've been saying through this. You keep saying, whether it's because I keep bringing up the 100 shares or the 1 million shares, it's still about ownership. Because at that point, I've got to take that bet on myself that I can grow that.
Yeah.
It'll be at a slower pace.
And also Netflix is not that's the thing. Like, do I wait for Netflix to call me, or do I try to make things happen? That's kind of that's where I was at the crossroads. It's like Netflix is not calling me. I'm living in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Do you know the connection between Netflix and Albuquerque, New Mexico?
What, they shoot a lot of shit out of Albuquerque?
They are based out of Albuquerque. They have a studio in Albuquerque. Okay. Like, they own land in Albuquerque. Netflix is not coming up to me being like, hey, we see that you are doing well here in this comedy scene. You want to set up a meeting? Nobody's offering me a meeting. So I'm not, what do I do?
They haven't offered you yet because, listen.
And he's so mad he had to take his hood off.
No, because
you can feel the steam coming up.
I don't get how else to explain it to y'all, bro.
It's where you're saying the same thing.
I'm not though, because this is okay. Hold on. Every situation situation is different. Right. That's one.
It was
Two,
on my
Netflix, and if we're talking Netflix, what everybody's not getting through is Netflix has a 2-year turnaround, bro. 2-year turnaround. When you do our big OG Tony Woods just did a fucking Netflix special, right? 20-minute special. bam, it's on fucking Netflix, right? And 2 years, that shit probably won't even be on Netflix again. You would have to go in the search bar to fucking find that shit. Not because it wasn't good.
What does that have to do with anything?
Whoa. Because it's a turnaround. It's not. It's because it's a turnaround. Because it's the flip, right? Now, when you talk about YouTube, YouTube doesn't have specials. YouTube puts that shit up on the internet. You get them? If you put that shit up on YouTube, that shit is consistent, continuous fucking money. Over and over until Netflix get a TV show, a TV station, which might happen, which most likely won't, but it might happen, right? They have so much room on their servers to hold your shit. And once people have seen it so many times, people aren't going back to it. They move on. Now, if Tony shit, if They Ready turns into such a big fucking hit and everybody keeps watching it, right? Boom. They're going to keep that shit up there, right? If everybody who's watching it right, because that shit is doing well right now, right? Everybody's watching that shit right now, right? Tony is benefiting from everybody watching it right now. He's not benefiting from everybody watching it in 5 years. That's an add-on effect in 5 years. Right now, him being on Netflix and people watching it is generating more income for him. You see what I'm saying? This is why I say it's situational. This is exactly why his money doesn't come
in our situation. In our situation, Netflix is not.
I get it, but you're not. But this is my point. We're at that position now. What happens in 3 years, Lloyd? This is what I'm saying. When you put the never on it, when you put the never on it, you stop something 4 or 5 years from now. That's what
bitch. You better not say no never about lugs.
I'm saying never about lugs.
I mean, if they dropped their
better shoes,
free shipping, if they did free shipping, would that help?
So, if my point is right now, today, right? Netflix is not looking at you. Okay, whatever. But in 5 fucking years, Lloyd, or 2 years, next year, fuck out of here. Lloyd Lee's comedy station, a comedy YouTube page is now generating fucking 100,000 views, million fucking views, right? But even though you got the views, the numbers aren't there. And Netflix comes to you and say, hey, Lloyd, we want to put you on 20,000. We want to put you on billboards in New York City. We want to put you on billboards in LA. And you know that the majority of your income comes from fucking stage. You're telling me that they don't own your stage, but they're paying you to use your clip so they can get some of the views that you're getting on YouTube because they think it's going to generate more income for them.
This is all fucking hypothetical, bro.
Everything's hypothetical until it happens, bro.
Yeah, and right now, I will. You will be the first person I talk to when Netflix is on my caller ID.
And I'm gonna say, take that motherfucking money, nigga.
And I'm okay with that. But what I'm saying is, I can't pretend. And I think this is my biggest frustration. And the conversation is going like this. Like, you're talking about hypothetical, and that's great, but it's all hypothetical. I'm actually going on the actual. This is where I am right now, and this is where I foresee myself in the nearest of future. Like, I can't predict. You can't predict near future. I can predict as close as I possibly can. I can't predict 5 years from now. I can predict 6 months from now. And I know that between now and 6 months, XYZ is going to happen. I'm doing the best option that I can for the next 6 months, every 6 months, every quarter. And I can't pretend like Netflix could call me, because they could, but they might not. So I can't pretend like my life, I'm setting myself up for a life where Netflix is going to call me.
But why wouldn't you? See, and this is the bigger issue. This is a bigger issue for me, right? Why wouldn't you? This is my kick, right? When we produce, Rashawn, our booking manager, right, fucking yells at me every motherfucking day. I talk to her shut up, bitch. I talk to her every fucking day about when we doing bookings and shit, right?
She hits like reading you guys from afar because y'all just get married at this point.
That's my sis, bro.
First of all, these so-called players wouldn't tell you this.
Yeah, it's big sis, bro. My point is this, right? When me and her talk, we don't talk about the situation right now. We talk about fixing certain shit that we need to fix right now.
And that's what I'm doing.
But we don't. Hold on.
No. Keep on going.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, and that's what I'm addressing. Continue.
Right. But we're trying to set up for when a major calls us. We're not when we tell people this is kick, right? When we tell people, yo, we need you on a computer screen. We need you to have headphones. We need you to have a background that you want the fucking world, that you okay with the world to see. We don't say that shit because our friends on fucking Facebook are watching. Yes, our friends on Facebook are watching, right? And we want to give them a good show. So, what's going on? We don't give them a good show. They're not going to push, you know what I'm saying, tell people to keep watching this, right? But what we want is, the reason why we're setting up is so that when a major comes a knocking, they can see our progression. They can see how professional we are. The major is coming knocking. It's up to us if we want to believe the major is coming knocking in the near future. It's up to us that we believe that the major is going to come next year or 2 years from now, right? But if we decide that they're not coming, then you are putting your mind towards they're not coming.
That has nothing to do with still owning your shit,
bro.
No,
Lloyd moved that. Lloyd moved that line. Don't fucking put that on me.
No,
that line, motherfucker.
Here's
I'm not saying not owning your shit, bro. I'm with Prince all day, bro. Own your shit. Own your shit.
That's what I've been saying. Is you didn't like the way I framed it. Sure.
No, I said it's circumstantial.
I will see this much ground to you, Eddie, and say there are circumstances, but still
That's
at
all
the end of the day, it down to selling all of the shit and not owning it. It still comes down to I'd rather own the 100 rather than 1% of the 1 million.
And okay, I concur, and I acknowledge the congressman from Nevada acknowledges
my white chocolate nuts.
I acknowledge. I acknowledge that request. I acknowledge that request.
You say I own 1% of a million. How much is that 1% worth?
Okay,
because that 1% worth 200 fucking thousand, and I can go do other shit. Versus my fucking 100% of fucking 20,000. I'm gonna take the fucking 200,000.
Hold on. Yes. Okay. Let me be specific. We've had this conversation. We've beat it to the ground.
We beat the shit out of this kid.
Yeah,
we didn't beat the shit out of this conversation.
I got intoxicated and
wrong.
And then I got sober again. And this fucking conversation is sobering.
Lloyd moved again and got good internet.
Yo, Terrance, when you cutting that fuck ass beard off, bro?
Fuck y'all, man.
No, when Precious said that shit, she was like your beard. I was like, oh, she's lying like shit. Oh, she lying like a motherfucker. That shit look like it got roaches, nigga.
You tell Precious she lying to her face and see how that goes.
Wait. I'll share with y'all the one that I actually had from when I first jumped on the show. You'll have to see that one because I look back at that one as like a little bit of a throwback, and I said, "Oh my god!"
Like James Harden.
Your hair grows fast as fuck.
It does.
It grows fast as fuck. But that shit looks nasty. You literally look like you got fucking roaches crawling through your fucking.
Yeah,
this is a beautiful look, man. Like I said, I'd be mad at me too if I was you because my whole beard don't connect, and I got to put peroxide on my face, whatever the fuck you got going.
I do have to wear peroxide.
His beard ain't got long distance.
That's racist.
They can't reach out and touch nobody.
But Lloyd, you can't grow a beard. Shut up.
Hey, I'm staying strong in my lane. Clean shaven.
You're the oldest dude on this podcast and have the least amount of facial hair.
Yep. Short, pale, and handsome.
There you go. I sent it to y'all right in the private chat. That was from the first time that I featured before it was ever even a thought that I'd be the third member. I just got on here. That was my beard. That shit was, oh my God.
Wow, that's oppressive. Oppressive.
That's an oppressively large beard.
I feel like you're getting
so you
fired.
cut it off.
Hell yeah, I did. Dude, that shit was like 2.5 inches, but when my beard gets really long, it curls. It curls like a motherfucker curls.
Yo, I love when white people try to tell me how much they have curly hair when their hair is long. It's like, yeah, it's a difference. my hair be smaller than the fucking space between my fingers and that shit. Like,
what hair?
Yeah.
Oh, it's a little bit of facial hair. Okay, I was gonna say.
Fuck you, whore. Yo, ready to get out of here?
Yeah. Oh, we're not even going to talk about topics. We're just going to yell at each other.
I thought you were ready to get the fuck out of it.
No,
like you said, Lloyd sounded like he was like, "I'm this whole podcast has been about us yelling, and I'm fucking done."
Facial
Well,
hair.
it's already
We've
been
yelled
an
at
hour
each
and
other and
15.
facial hair, which are neither one of the topics that I enjoy.
Beating a dead horse is what we did. I feel accomplished.
Topics.
And
Let's talk about
too.
topics.
It wasn't a fucking wizard. All right, what you got?
I got nothing.
Talking about UFC.
I thought you're the topics guy.
I thought you had topics. I'm tapped out now.
Did you not? Did neither one of you guys watch UFC though?
I watched. That was one of the better cards.
Well, we talked about it. You didn't watch. Terrance didn't watch it.
I was visiting my old man.
As I say, Terrance doesn't watch UFC.
I do watch UFC. I was visiting my old man.
How's Lauren?
He was with Lauren.
Yeah. He's good.
How's Lauren, man?
He's good for all things considered. He says, "Hello, fellas," and he will be back on when he can.
Oh,
so the question I ask is, does he have a laptop and a background he wants the world to see, along with a headphone and a microphone? I'm just asking.
No, he says he wants to own all his shit.
Yo, we should try to do that. We should put my pops on, Lauren on, and space behind Lloyd. Anyway, fuck you both. You guys angered me today.
I can tell.
Now I'm pulling personal shit. Look, Lloyd's on the end of the podcast now.
That's why I'm mad.
I'm joking, guys. How did you know?
I saw that motherfucker eyes move. I was like, oh, he was trying to end the podcast. Right?
I can always tell when y'all are fucking around with StreamYard because y'all like
yeah, because you look to one side. You look to literally one side. Fucking no. But the UFC this week was fucking dope as shit, bro. First off, when what's the name dropped Nigerian Nightmare?
Yep.
No, not Usman. When he wobbled Usman.
Yep.
Oh, I thought it was about to be over.
It looked like it was I don't want to take away from it, but it looked like he was punched and it was off balance and his foot, like, because he's off balance and leaning to one side, his foot went to go hit the ground and it didn't. He seemed like it looked worse than it actually did when you watch it in replay.
It looked like he was about to go to fuck down.
Yeah, in real time, yes, but when you watch the replay, it literally looked like he just misplaced his foot because he got punched. Like he got punched.
But Gilbert, if Gilbert would have followed up, it felt like Gilbert was scared to follow up, right? Because if he would have ran in, like when he dropped him, if he would have ran in, it looked like he could have got him. But it was like he was scared to do it.
But if he were to have lost, if Burns would have won, you would have said the same thing about the way Usman didn't dive in.
No. And the reason why I wouldn't say that is because we've both seen Burns fight before. And so if you dive in like that, that's why like a friend of mine was like, dog, he looks like he's getting his ass with his feet on the back, kicking like that. And I was like, listen, if the shit works, you don't fix it. You get what I'm saying? He was doing that because he knew that as soon as Usman would have jumped in, he was going to fucking upkick the fuck out of him. And it was most likely going to be game over.
But before that, like he would wobble him, sit him down, and like he didn't pounce on him. He just stood there. Like he like, you know, when you sit somebody down, people pounce. He didn't even pounce. He laid down and he kind of let set. Like there was a lot of time. And I think that they just know each other so well. And he goes, "Oh, I could do this all day." Like that jab is like a fucking murder.
He jabbed this motherfucker to
death.
Dude, it was bad. Listen, Terrance, he jabbed this motherfucker so bad that after the fight, he sat there for 30 minutes and cried. Like it was like he didn't look bruised up. It was just all brain reaction. Just
and then he was jabbing him to death, and then he got bored, and then he switched stances to southpaw, and then jabbed him. He's like, this is starting to hurt my hand. Okay, hold on.
And that's the thing about that's the most boring part about Usman, but great part about Usman as a fighter, right? It's the most boring part as a spectator, but as a fighter, it's the greatest part to see. Is that Usman finds something that works against you, and then he does not stop doing it.
That's the sign of a good fighter, though, right? Like people
That's my
bitched
point.
and bitched about Ronda for years.
Armbar,
She's a
armbar,
one-trick pony. Armbar.
Stop
But
it.
when you fucking know that it's coming and you still can't stop it, that tells you how technically proficient that fighter is.
You got a fighter like a Tyrannosaurus Rex just being like, this is my whole
Dude.
arm. That's it.
Right.
But that's why, like, when fucking Amanda Nunes and what's her name both knocked her out and kicked her out. Like
Holly Holm and
Holly Holm.
Nunes.
Yep.
Everyone knew that Ronda's up game was horrific at best. And everyone was like, well, I'm gonna fucking wrestle her. And you're like, that's not a good look.
That's not what you
Why would you fight her game? But that was the other problem, right? During that time frame, before she fought Holly Holmes, and this is just real shit. Before she fought Holly Holmes, how many females were great stand-up fighters?
I was just about to say that.
They were better than other females at stand-up, but they weren't. Holly Holmes a goddamn boxer, my nigga.
Because Misha Tate, that was her biggest problem. Was her stand-up game is trash, but I won't say trash, but it wasn't nearly as good as it.
But how many girls were good at how many girls were expert stand-up artists?
But here's the thing with Ronda Rousey, you just had to be better, and that bar was so low.
That's my point. Because it wasn't like she didn't knock bitches down, bro. She was standing up and fucking bitches up too. Ronda, she wasn't doing it on a regular, but she would catch a bitch every blue moon and then get down and fucking wrestle.
But if
that's all I'm saying.
Your stand-up just had to been passable, and you could have outstruck her.
But her grappling game is on point.
Leg kick, head punch. And she has no stand-up defense. You could have done that to a championship, and everyone's like, "No, I'm gonna wrestle her.
But would you not say that she was still? Would you not say that she was still great? Because and the reason why she's still one of the greatest females.
Most definitely.
That's all I'm saying.
Anybody that says otherwise is hate.
Amanda is the greatest. Amanda's the greatest. I think that's almost
overall
non-argument. Overall, Amanda's the greatest female UFC fighter of all time. I'm sorry. That's what I believe. But I think before Amanda, it was Ronda. Like, it was like, yo, none of you bitches can stop me. None of us are really great at stand-up yet. And so I'm gonna out-wrestle all you whores, and I'm gonna fucking break your fucking elbows. Now what? And if I can't get it, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna switch sides and then get it on another one.
And I think that every female fighter has to thank Ronda Rousey for putting it on the map where, before Ronda Rousey, it was, I don't want to say it's a sideshow, but they weren't taking it seriously, underpromoted. And when Ronda Rousey was like, oh, we could actually make money off of women.
Name a main card before Ronda Rousey.
She was the first female.
That's what I'm saying. Like
and
there were other ones
versus dude.
There were other ones that weren't part of UFC and whatnot, but yeah, it was all that.
But so the problem is and it takes us to a bigger conversation that I know a lot of people don't want to have, honestly, right? No, I'm sorry, bro. I can get in trouble for it, but it's the fucking truth, so I can't be mad at it. Like, no, all right. Female, especially in sports, as females, especially in sports, except soccer. Females, when it comes to sports, not as many people watch it, right? And it is because of social standards, but I think the argument is put on the wrong people, right? The UFC is a business. Their business is promotion. If nobody wants to watch it, who the fuck am I promoting it to? Amanda Nunes is the greatest fucking female fighter in the sport, right? Most people who watch fighting, understand it or not, want to see blood. You know where you don't see blood? On the fucking ground. That's where you don't see blood. That's why when everybody's like, how come Ben Askren wasn't in the fucking UFC beforehand? There was no blood. He out-wrestled everybody and choked them and put them to sleep.
Until
who the fuck wants to watch that shit?
I'll watch it now.
Right, until he got laid the fuck out. But that's right. So it's like, dude, like, my point is everybody wants to see blood. Female fighters, especially with female fighters, you don't see blood. Not as much. Now we are running into the reason why females are getting so much more love now is because now we're running into fucking Holly Holmes boxing the shit out of people and fucking staying on her toes the entire goddamn fight at fucking 40 years old with a fucking strength that most dudes can't even fucking pull off. Now we're seeing Amanda Nunes rock bitches so fucking hard that they fucking leave the fucking sport and go to another fucking promotion company. Coincidentally or not. Now we're seeing fucking a Chinese fighter from a country who doesn't produce any fighters in the fucking UFC.
No, they've got fighters, just no champions.
No champions in the UFC, and she's beating the fuck out of everything. Like, that's who. If her and Amanda Nunes was on the card, oh, that shit is going fucking wild, bro. If they, I know they're in different weight classes. Yeah. If they want the same weight classes, that shit would be fucking epic, bro. But at the end of the day, most female sports, we don't really see any dominance in a particular area that people want to see on the regular. When you watch soccer, when you watch soccer, you want to see jukes. You guys, that's why everybody's like, man, there's no scoring in it. We don't give a fuck about the scoring. You know what we want to see? Somebody's ankle get broke by a dude fucking rolling the ball around. We want to see somebody bending a goddamn ball fucking like from the corner, like Beckham, from the fucking corner, and that bitch goes in the fucking net. Some shit that's not regular.
I'm trying to think of like females or female
tennis.
Sports to contradict what you're saying.
Golf.
It's hard. It's golf. You can see
curling.
Them. Well, hold up. You can't. Nope. Stop. Golf. Female holes are shorter. From female holes is shorter distance.
Oh yeah, because okay, yeah. Curling
because they can't hit. They can't hit as hard. It's curling. No female. I haven't seen female curling. Who the fuck watches curling besides random weirdos?
The rest of the world. Says the guy who watches cricket.
I like Summer Olympics, so like the track and field shit I watch.
I was going to say, now the track and field is the closest that you can put it.
Yeah.
But besides soccer and female soccer and female track is the only thing people watch a little bit more. The kicker to it is we watch female soccer because those motherfuckers are goddamn beasts, and you got Hope Flood out here beating up her own goddamn boyfriend. So that shit was fucking amazing.
Don't care.
Nobody gave a fuck. Not Hope Flood. What's her name?
I was gonna say Hope Flood's a comedian,
Solo, right?
Yeah, Hope Solo. Beating the shit out of her boyfriend, and then on track,
Hope Flood.
Everybody that's watching the females on track is fucking perverts. Let's just be honest about this shit.
No, man, I've always liked track, man. I used to run track. I'm trying to think, like I said, of another sport that. Yeah, because even when they advertised like that lingerie league or whatever for football, I really didn't give a shit. I like titties and ass, and I'm all for a titty and booty popping out, but still, I was like, I don't care.
There really wasn't no titties popping out on that shit, and half those chicks were not the chicks that would ever fuck you. Half, I didn't say all.
No, they'd fuck me, but like they'd be doing the fucking, if you know what
I was about to say. They'd be fucking you. Half of them. Not all.
God, I'm so scared.
But I'm just saying, it's not as much. Everything is a business. Everything's about a dollar amount, and particularly besides fucking female soccer, no female. Why do you do this?
Hold on. Don't worry about me.
No female. There's no female fucking sport that's bringing in crazy amount of revenue. That's all I'm saying. Besides female soccer, there's no female sport, unisex sport that some females are bringing in more. Now, the main reason behind that is because the females who watch a certain sport, right? Basketball. Let's use basketball. Females that watch basketball are not as there's not that many females who watch basketball in the first place. So then most of those oh, that's hilarious. Most of those females are the ones who are watching female basketball. Not all of them. Most of them are watching female basketball. Correct? You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. If there's not a lot of people out there to watch it, how does it bring in that much revenue? And Bob Sumner said something on the podcast that on his podcast that I was like, I do agree with, and you said something too. And my father even called me, and I was like, I agree with it to a certain extent, right? and the only reason why I know that is because of the hideout, right? There are certain, when it comes to female only comedy shows, right? There are certain comedy shows in general are mostly females, right? Mostly females tell their dudes, let's go out to a comedy show, let's laugh. Dudes that are trying to get a check normally tell somebody, or somebody that love it on a regular, but it's mostly females that push comedy shows, right? In my experience, and I want to say this the correct way, in my experience, the majority of females that come to my shows are not coming because there's a female on the lineup. There's a reason why, and I'm just being honest. There's a reason why when I have Larry when Larry does the hideout, it's a room full of fucking females.
Hot ones.
Yeah, they are hot too. There's a reason behind that. You get what I'm saying?
It makes me sound shitty, and I don't mean it
is shitty.
In a shitty way, but most of the females I know that are not comics are the ones that say women aren't funny. I'm not saying that. I don't believe that. I very much think that.
This is the kicker. Once you get a female like my sis Frankie, once you get a female like Ray Diva, once you get a female that's way better than the majority of all other fucking dudes that should be at the top echelons, oh, chicks come the fuck out, bro.
Yes.
Right? You know what I'm saying? But so it's like it's one of those things. It's in comedy, 90% of comics aren't that funny, right? When I say 10% of all comics that do comedy are good, are going to be great. There's the top 1% that are going to be fucking legends, right? You have the top 10 that's great, right? The other 50 are probably going to quit in the next couple of years, and then that gap of 40 are people who are on the cusp, but we don't know where they're going to go. You can break it down as much as you want, right? If you have 100 comics, right? If you have 100 male comics and you was like, well, how many females do you have, right? There will probably be around 20. It's not as many, but the percentage doesn't change, in my opinion. You get the percentage of it? Like, so if you out of 20 female comics, there might be 5 great comics out of that shit. So a lot of these females are like, well, y'all don't put comics on shows. I can put the comics who are great on these shows. I can put the females who are great. I can put the females who are going to generate money. You get what I'm saying? But I can't just be promoting a female for the fact of promoting a female because it's a waste of money. The WNBA is losing money. I'm not saying get rid of it at all. It needs to be there. But for when people come out, but this is my kicker. It should be there. The WNBA definitely needs to stick around. And if they keep losing money, they're making most of the owners of the WNBA are owners of NBA teams. You're making your money over there, dog. Don't talk to me, my guy. But when you are like, when we do this fucking fake ass fucking analogy of, well, it's because they're promoting them more. They're promoting them more because they're making more money off of them. If I'm doing a 20% budget, if I say 20% of my money goes into marketing, one thing is making $100, that means $20 goes to marketing. Whereas if the other thing is making $10, I can only put $2 worth of marketing. That's all. It
sounds like you're part of the problem, Eddie. It doesn't sound like you're trying to be part of the solution. I'm going to.
You know what the solution is? You know what the solution is? Is mostly what you guys talked about earlier. You know what the solution and what we talked about earlier. You know what the solution is?
Owning 100% of your shit.
No, getting people to watch you.
Yeah,
you have to go. Like we know Lisa Leslie, right? We know about Lisa Leslie. Everybody watched the LA Sparks. I don't even know their team. Is it Sparks?
It was Sparks at the time.
Yes, Sparks. Yeah, because people watched them girls didn't lose money. You know why? Because everybody wanted to watch them motherfuckers. You get what I'm saying? That's on ESPN now. Super cute. Candace Parker, right?
She's from Chicago.
Yeah, people want to watch her, bro. Skylar Diggins. People want to watch. That one's a little bit perverted, but she is also a good basketball player. Let's just be honest, right? People want to watch her, bro. People want to watch you.
Wait. When you say that it's perverted, let's not fucking pretend like women are saints and they don't come out to shows as perverts as well.
Why did you think I used fucking Larry?
I'm saying, so let's make sure that, and that's no dig at him or anything. It's not. It's just it is what it is. He's
not crying.
Funny, and he looks good.
And he's not crying himself to sleep on all that ticket sales.
I was about to say.
Yeah, I was about to say, dude. Like, what the fuck?
I'm just saying, don't
he's
when you
funny
sit there and
and
bring up Skylar
attractive.
Diggins. Oh, it's perverted. Like, hey, look,
are we still yelling at each other?
It is when you listen, because when we talk, and you got to say it's perverted, because which one of us dudes is watching Skylar Diggins and not hoping that she bends over and turns a corner? Let's be honest.
Me, I'm a saint.
I'm there for her bounce passes and her fundamentally sound layups.
Dog, as soon as she drives, nigga, I'm like, holy shit. Sorry, I'm just
pervert.
I don't give a fuck.
I'm here for the inbound passes and the setting of the picks.
Fuck out of here, bro. Like
shot off the dribble, impeccable.
The way to I don't think it's I don't think it's always the way to fix it, but I do think it is a way to fix it, right? Is get females. I do like all female shows. I really do. But when you do these all females, like She More Funny, all fucking 5 of them are fucking killers. All fucking 5 of them. All 5 of them are really good stand-up comics. Females that are great need to, and I know this is fucked up, right? And I know they're gonna say it's fucked up, but it's the truth. Females that are really good need to get together and push up their fucking shit, get everybody knowing them, and stop this whole fucking all of us are great. All of you are not great. That's why you don't see dudes talk. We talk about shitty comics all the time to the dude, but we never get a chance to talk about female comics because we look like a fucking misogynist. You know what I'm saying? Like, so female comics need to get together and be like, listen, percentage-wise, we know that percentage-wise, not every female is great. So all the great female comics can get together and we're gonna fucking do a She More Funny style fucking show. Simple as that, bro. And let us get big, and all you other females get fucking better.
Well, let's talk about it. Speak on
She More Funny. She More Funny is Woo Woo the comedian. D-Lo.
Say her name. Say her name.
Who, D-Lo?
No, just all of them.
D-Lo and Maria Sanchez.
Say her name.
Ray Diva.
That's right.
I didn't catch the 5th one. Right?
It's 4. It's 4. The 5th one's gone, so we're not. Okay. I can't even address it. But those 4 female comics.
You said 5, and then you say 4.
I know. I thought about it. I thought about it because they started with another female comic.
Don't do it.
Nope. Say it.
I don't know. But my point is all 4 of them are
fucking monsters.
All
monsters.
4.
You're absolutely
but because it's 4 females that are fucking monsters, right? It's easier to push.
The fucking shitty part is they fall under that urban comedy scene, so it's like they're doubly fucked. And
I don't think they're fucked. They're not fucked. That shit.
Maybe fucked isn't the right word.
That's why we talk about some more, right? Some more is a goddamn fucking monster. Ern Jackson, goddamn fucking monster, right? But I think the mediocrity is okay. Like it's kind of like this is what it is. This is exactly what it is. It's when we see a white boy that can dance, right? We talked about this shit before. It's when we can see a white boy that can dance, and everybody's like, "Ooh, he's a good dancer." It's like, nigga, my nephew did that fucking dance. Let's talk about the real goddamn dance. Let's look at fucking what's that fucking TV show with all the goddamn? Let's look at that shit and compare them to them. You get what I'm saying? Like, let's not just put out here.
The bar is so low.
The bar is too low. Because and what it does is it fucks up the greats. That's all I'm saying. It fucks up people like Wanda Sykes. It fucks up. It takes away from the female Sarah Silverman. It takes away from the females that are really fucking good at what they do.
That's fucking life, unfortunately, man. That's unfortunately life.
That's a conversation that needs to be had.
You know, I coming up in the comedy rooms that I've come up in, like I've taken advantage of the bar being so low, the expectation being so low for me. Like no bullshit. Like, oh, this guy can't be funny. This guy can't be funny. Oh, this guy can't dance. But this guy can't speak English. But
that hinders you.
I think at some point it will. At some point it has.
I think if you stick with it, it would.
Yeah, but I think that also it's giving me opportunities. I'm the diversity portion of every show. Look at every flyer I've ever been on ever. Exactly.
You're the only one of your kind. But,
I don't get booked for Asian shows.
But that's the point, right? Like, how many Asian comics are there in America? Not in China.
Listen.
Not in China.
When there's
not
fucking Well, no, in fucking China, freedom of speech, not a thing. But what I will say is like, you know, when there is an Asian show, for whatever reason, I'm never booked for it. Like I'm always we got you.
How much do you go out with Asian comics besides in LA? Because now I see you more with Asian comics. But how much, like, you know what I'm saying? Like in DC, how many Asian comics?
Exactly.
And that's the other kicker. How many people are you cool with to even fuck with? There's a shit ton of black comics. I get to choose who I want to fucking hang with. Do you know what I'm saying?
So that's exactly my point. There was an Asian show, an Asian comic only show in DC while I was there. And I think I was the only Asian comic not invited. Literally, comics I didn't even know. But they're like, yeah, we're.
That's my point, Lloyd.
There's not enough comics that you can overlook. There's not enough comics where you're like, oh, Lloyd. Yeah,
do they fuck with you, Lloyd? Did the people that ran the show, did they fuck with you?
Yeah.
They didn't put you on the show, so they must not.
Oh, well, I mean, I guess not. Fuck it.
I'm saying no. I'm not being an asshole because how many shows have I been passed on? I get your fucking point. Yeah, a lot of them. So that's
no. What I'm saying is, like, you know, when you're saying that you know, you have to be able to find that niche, that corner. You corner the market. I'm cornering the market of like, hey, I will be that guy. If you want the one person that doesn't fit, I'll be that one person that fit. And then when I go in there, I know people don't. You see me at the Hideout. People who've never been to the Hideout fuck with me, like not in the good way. They will fuck with me because I'm the only Asian person in the room, and it's fine. But they don't realize that we're there once a month, and then you know, like the bar is so low that's like, fuck it, I'm gonna have fun with this.
I get that.
Gotta take advantage.
You do have to take advantage. But what I'm saying is that if you came out here, being honest with you, right?
Yep.
If you came out and was like, you guys are not giving enough love to the Asian comics.
Okay.
Don't put a gender on it. You came out and was like, you guys are not giving enough love to the Asian comics. The first thing, and you know me, the first thing I would say is, which one is funny? That's not a crack to say all Asian comics are bad. That's me literally asking which one is funny. You know why? Because I'm gonna fuck with the one that I find funny.
Right. I got you.
Hits point take right now. Like it's not that many. I'm so serious about this shit, right? It was six fucking Asian comics in DC. 6 that I know. If I don't, besides not female, non-female, right? It's 6 fucking. I think it's more female Asian.
Yeah,
it's more female Asian than there's more female Asian than there's male Asian. But there's like 6 male Asian comics in DC, right? In my opinion, you were the funniest one that I vibed with. Now, if it was another one and I didn't vibe with him, I don't know him. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you. I just didn't know him. But I didn't vibe with all of them, bro. I didn't vibe with some of them. Like, I think I love Vu. I like Andrew Vu. That's my guy with the black voice. That's my guy.
That motherfucker's voice is deep for no reason. Every time I see him, I say that shit.
But even he would say Lloyd's funny to him. You get what I'm saying? Like, he's just not there yet. It's not. I think everybody thinks about you're putting somebody down when you put somebody up. That's not the fact, bro. At the point of me starting when I was doing, I vibed with Lloyd first. Asian came second. I never gave a fuck that Lloyd was Asian. We never did a fucking Lloyd Asian themed fucking show. I did a fucking show and Lloyd was the goddamn host. Same thing with female. But with females, I do female only shows. But we book funny ass females. So when I keep getting this bullshit about Eddie doesn't book females, you're a fucking liar, bruh. You are a fucking. I book funny. I book who I think is funny and that my crowd would think is funny.
Put that on a t-shirt. We book funny.
But that's what I'm saying. Like when you go when they talk about Shep and then she only gets that. No, she's fucking funny and she talks about how she's a fucking that she's a butch.
Butch lives matter.
Butch lives matter. She talks about it, but she fucking rocks the stage when she's on that shit.
Word.
Right? She pushes female comedy. But I also know that she pushes good female comedy. She does not push the bullshit.
I got you.
Where the conversation started of like, you know what I'm saying, UFC and the female, what's her name? It's like, dog, you have Amanda Nunes, you have Holly Holm, And you got,
That's
I
how we
know,
got
right?
here.
Long way to get to that point.
Long with you, right?
Shit, we're back here.
You got Amanda Nunes, you got Holly Holm, and you got what's the chick for what's her name?
Zhang.
Yeah, Zhang Z, right? And Rose. Unfortunately, two of those are in the same fucking way. Both there's two females in both weight classes. Other than that, how many people are watching that shit? So you can't. So why don't they have any headlines? Because they don't have another Ronda, right? Ronda surpassed
they don't have
that shit.
You know, the thing is, I feel like you have to be something special to get a headline, and you might not be like a superstar, but you have to be something special. Like you can't just get a headline like comedy. You're just gonna get a headline because you fucking showed up.
You can't get a headline just because you're a female. I'm sorry, bro. You can't just get a headline because you have to be. You can't get a headline because you're black. You can't get a headline because you're fucking Pakistan. What's that shit? Kazakhstan. You're from Kazakhstan. You have to be great.
Mm-hmm. You have to be something special.
You have to be something. You have to be something that people want to watch. That will put the money behind you, right? That'll put them in white privilege. But you stupid. When more people want to see you, the more money I can put behind you. The more money I can put behind you, the more money we both can make. But if nobody's watching you and I still put money behind you, I'm not gonna say give them the like what's the name, but it's like, dude, like WNBA, UFC fighters. There's not a lot of females who people want to put their money behind. It sucks. It is a fucking shitty fucking situation for females.
Build the brand.
It literally is. But
build the brand.
But if females, again, like She More Funny, that was my biggest point.
Yep.
If females like She More Funny, they band together and like, we're going to just take the funny and show how funny, like, so you guys can't say females aren't funny, or you guys can't say, and they own their own shit and start putting that shit together. If there was a basketball league and it was fucking 4 teams and they were just the best females and they all were fucking baller as shit, they all were fucking out this bitch, dunking, yanking, and shooting threes, right? And the score was 120, motherfuckers will watch that shit more.
What's yanking?
They're owning their shit.
What's yanking? What dunking, yanking? You said yanking. I don't know what that means.
Yanking is dribble when you like cross over somebody.
Oh, and then yank it back. Got it. Okay. Yeah, got you.
I'd be yanking.
Okay, guys.
Just go ahead and hit that shit.
With it. That's why I'm mad with it. With it. With it. That's why I'm mad with it.
What the fuck is wrong with you guys?